Aloha, I'm Lehia.
I'm Brad, and this is Poli Poli Farms.
Our farm is located in Waiehu, and Waiehu is part of this region on Maui called Nā Wai, ʻEhā, or the Four Great Waters.
You know, we started with our little garden bed when I was living at my mom's place.
It went from that tiny box, and then it went to kind of a bigger portion of the yard, and then a bigger yard.
And then this place came up, and once we got it, we were like, oh, we got, you know, a couple acres to play around with, so okay, we gotta really go for it.
Yeah, it was no longer a hobby. We both had very traditional careers. It was jarring for us to decide that we wanted to make a shift.
We get up pretty early. We're out on the farm, we're observing the sunrise and, you know, maybe meditating, checking on our animals, just saying hi to them. That's kind of our first part of our morning routine. Then we go and do our farm chores.
When we arrived on this property, it was totally overgrown.
We didn't know what we were getting into when we purchased this farm. We had no idea how much work it would take. We couldn't even make it through. The cane grass was like really high. We were stumbling around.
You don't start, you don't finish.
Yeah. I grew up in Wailuku, you know, just about 10 minutes from here in Waiehu.
I grew up in Wailuku, here on Maui, in the same neighborhood as Brad, actually.
Lehia was a really good girl.
You was a go person.
A go person?
Yeah, like you would ask, you want to go? You say yes, and then you would ask where.
Oh, yeah.
So what was that like as a kid?
He was always taking things apart, and then sometimes he couldn't put it back together.
For us, being on this ʻāina and connecting with it, we wanted to plant the things that naturally grow here best. And also from a cultural perspective, it was a way for us to connect to the Hawaiian culture. Having an agroforestry system just is a way to keep things more in balance, just kind of mimicking nature.
Different plants will share information, share resources, so it's kind of touching in a way, you know? I mean, think about how the plants are living, and maybe us humans should live a little bit more like that. Now that we have this farm, we've become a lot more curious about farming in our own family histories, and so it's been so fascinating. I'm learning about, you know, all the characters in my past that have had farming.
Growing up, I didn't think that I had a lot of farming in my history at all, or any, but through my Okinawan side, my farming history goes back, you know, many centuries. It's really cool to connect with my culture in that way through farming.
Yeah, you asked how come we kept going, or like what
kept us
yeah,
passion, you know?
This guy, because you have to keep up with him. God, my dad, we would, oh, sorry, this is gonna be hard for me to get through. I don't know where we would be without my dad. He grew up on a scrapyard, a junkyard. That was our family's legacy. You can see how it affected him. Like, he'll make tools for us, things that were made out of 10 other things to create one thing.
This was from the bleachers from the Wailuku gym. The old bleachers, the one that they used to pull off the wall. That's where that came from.
I mean, he's just this silent hero of ours, and he's always showing up and always giving so much energy. Farming is more than, you know, the technical skills that you acquire. It's how you understand and treat the world around you. And I think Hawaiians did that expertly.
We're trying to get back to what they're doing by doing it naturally and organically, or actually what they would just call farming. We call regenerative farming or sustainable farming, but to them it was just farming.
I'm in awe of them, to be honest. it makes me really proud as a Hawaiian to know what my ancestors were able to accomplish. I remember that conversation we were having at the little coffee table at Naniloa. We were complaining, really, about the state of the world and all the bad news that we were watching on television. We thought we want to do something about it. And so we thought, well, let's plant more things. Instead of thinking negative, just do positive, you know?
We love farming. It's a way of life for us now, and something that we want to do for the rest of our lives.